in defense of Rhule, depth chart is full of young guns ready to pop. And, we got kind of a good idea last year of the Bowl month. We saw players like Donovan Jones. We saw a number of younger players kind of pop that played in the Bowl that maybe you weren't expecting to.
Yeah. I mean, the headline says it. This is kind of a defensive Rhule. When you look, all you got to do, if you want to do a mental exercise this weekend, again, talking to Nebraska fans, just look at the two deep, find the two deep, and which, it's 3 or 4 players in some instances, but we're calling it the two deep. And look at the number of sophomores, redshirt freshmen, and freshmen. Some who are pretty well accomplished, but some that may be kind of ready to pop. It's really sort of an amazing exercise. Like on the defensive end, I'm not going to go through all, Sean, don't worry. But, I mean, just guys like David Huffkins, a redshirt freshman. Dylan Rogers is a sophomore. Shavers is a sophomore. Jacob Bauer, we haven't seen much of. Justin Rhett is a sophomore. These guys, Amari Sanders is a redshirt freshman. Guys we haven't heard a lot from. There's a lot of guys we have heard a lot from. Donovan Jones is going to take a big jump. But and then the offensive line, it's really a discussion with Preston Tamua, redshirt freshman, and Machachak, sophomore, Sam Sledge, Jake Peters.
And Machachak,
all these young guys.
He's battled some injury stuff.
Machachak?
Yeah, and that's why he maybe hasn't been as prevalent. But I know they like him, and obviously Gibson Pyle, before he got hurt, was somebody that, I mean, if he was available and healthy, Gibson Pyle could start this bowl game.
Right. So what I'm saying, Sean, is the list of guys like that is so long that we can't even cover it all in the show. Like, Rhule does have a point about when he always plays that youth card. There's a lot of young, promising talent. If you're a Rhule defender, which there's a lot of, obviously, Rhule has a lot of support. That's where I'd start it. There's a lot of young guys on this roster that their best days are ahead of them. We've seen a lot of them already, especially up front on defense. Petchak, Winery. Winery's a redshirt freshman. I would be sometimes I think I would be kind of frustrated if I were Rhule, and there's this impatience out there. It's like, look at some of these guys we got. Just name 3. Petchak, Winery, and Keona Davis.
I think the hard thing is when you don't see them playing in games or hear about them in practices.
But we do see those guys playing in games. Winery, Keona Davis, and Petchak.
But they haven't made a lot of big plays yet.
No.
I mean, so I think that's what last year, that was the surprise of the bowl game, to see some of these guys, even, I mean, your favorite player, Jordan Ochoa.
Yeah, which I don't know what happened.
Never materialized this year, but there were some random stories last year like that you're like, ooh, okay.
Right. So, yes, I don't know. It's hard to preach patience to people. People don't want to hear it. But, man, there's just up and down that roster. There's guys that their best days are ahead of them. And some of them have played already and look pretty good. Donovan Jones is probably the best example, right? You maybe Guthrie, you'd say.
Yeah, those were guys that played in the bowl. Did Guthrie play in that bowl game last year a little bit?
I think so. Donovan Jones did. Donovan Jones played well.
Yeah, and maybe at receiver, Quinn Clark and Keelan Smith.
Yeah.
Hey, Quinn Clark particularly did flash at times this year.
Great examples, though. Those are two, and even Cortez Mills, you would say, right?
You'd like to see more of him.
Yeah. But those are all young guys on the roster that you think, okay, they're all right.
And with the roster kind of continuing to get smaller, I think that's a good thing for reps during these bowl practices.
Yeah, 100%.
Rhule went with it, but I don't necessarily know if he was, managing 140, 150 guys is just not normal anymore in college football. And it's hard to operate it.
I mean, Sean, you want to be careful in that discussion because we embraced that for so long.
We did, but the game changed with rev share, NIL, FCS scholarships. There's more things now that limited the pool of players.
But we always used to talk about how those walk-ons fortified the roster and gave you this sort of mentality, this kind of backbone of the team, would show the scholarship players what it meant to be a Husker. So you lose that a little bit.
But now you've got that generation of kids that never really grew up seeing Nebraska be what it was.
Right.
So it's a different era of kids.
Yeah.
That
that's a good point.
It's way, and again, it changed when the FCS, when all the Dakota teams and like Northern Iowa went FCS from Division II. That's when a lot of it changed.
They could come in and get Nebraska.
Well,
guys.
they went from having like 25 scholarships to 62. And that was back, Osborne was staunchly against UNO moving its football program up to FCS.
So back to the bowl prepper. It's vital. It's a vital December for the program because of the opportunity for guys to get better.
And it's just 2 weeks in Lincoln. They're gonna have 2 weeks of practice. I mean, let's not act like they're gonna be practicing like for a month. I mean, it's 2 weeks in Lincoln, and then they're gonna have about a week in the bowl site.
But you would say those are very important weeks,
right? And maybe
you got to maximize.
Without TJ Lateef, though, you just wonder,
right, what
the offense looks like without maybe Emmett Johnson or without TJ Lateef, without Dylan Raiola.
Yep, I know you definitely wonder. So people understand Lateef is not available to practice Monday. I don't know. Rhule said he'll probably be ready. I wish I had the quote in front of me. He probably be ready for the bowl. That's the plan. It kind of
hamstrings are tricky.
Yeah,
it's a muscle, and muscles are tricky. It's different than like a sprain of an ankle, like. Because I've seen guys that have had hamstring problems their whole football career.
So again, a guy like Davila it's a really important time for him because he's going to get a lot of reps. Now Gramstad's number 2.
Yeah, Gramstad would probably operate the top offense right now.
Yeah, in Lateef's absence, but Davila will get a lot of snaps. Well, you heard Matt Rhule say that he saw some young offensive linemen and said, "Hey, these next couple weeks, these next few weeks are the biggest of your life." That's right. I loved when Matt said that because you need that urgency right now.
All right. Well, let's
Sean, you need that urgency right now.
I'm running the show here. You look at me like I'm supposed to be looking at you, but I'm trying to run the show here.
You need urgency.
I'm listening to you. You're giving me the look. Are you even listening to me?
No, I'm not.
I am.
No, you're being sensitive.
I'm listening to you, Zip.